Hey there, my name is Bailey and welcome to my channel. Today, as you can probably see from the title, I'm doing my first book haul of the year, aka all the books I bought/acquired in January. Now, January it's coming to a close, and I'm not happy to say, but I've bought a lot of books. Did we expect anything different though? Like new year, new me, but like new year, not new spending habits, you know? When I am sad, I buy books, I accumulate books, and now we're here. So, and let's just get right into it. The first book I bought in 2020 was The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, and I am proud to say I've read this book. That's a good start of the year, you know, it's kind of like good omen, like you read the first book you bought in the year. Probably a good way to set up the year. So I did read this. I gave this 4 to 5 stars, and I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up. But yeah, this is a memoir, obviously, of Jeanette Walls' life, and it's basically just talking through her childhood and how she got to where she is today. So it was really good. But yeah, and I have not much to say about this except for it was good. It's very, very gritty, and like, she goes in. Like, her life was kind of rough, so like as a child she was kind of always on the road because her dad is he's an alcoholic, and he's, I don't want to say crazy, but he does some crazy things. So that's this. The next book is You by Caroline Kepnes, and I am like just over 100 pages to the end of this book, and I'm determined to finish this by the end of January. If this is not my January wrap-up, smash a dislike so I can feel bad, because I need to finish this before the end of January. It's ridiculous. I'm so close to being done. Just finish it. I'm filming this on January 30th. It means there's one more day for me to finish this book, so I have to. I must. It would just be disgraceful if I didn't finish this book. But if you did not know, this is a thriller, and it's pretty popular, or like well known. It's a thriller. It's about this guy Joe, and one day, so he's the manager of a bookshop, and one day this girl named Beck walks into his bookshop, and he becomes obsessed with her and starts stalking her, and that's what we're following in this book. We're following Joe on his stalkery ways, following around Beck, and it has become a Netflix show. It was like a Lifetime show, but it's on Netflix. I've watched the first 2 seasons, and I actually really like the show. That's why I picked up the book, and suffice to say, the book is not better than the show. I'd recommend the show if you do not want to waste your time with the book, but the book is a good-ass time as well, just a little bit more bad. Yeah, this book exists, and I'm reading it. Next up, we have a YA contemporary, and that is All the Things We Do in the Dark by Sandra Mitchell. I picked up this book specifically because it's the same author or like editor of All Out, which is these queer stories from the past. And so I was like, and I've read a few of those, so I was like, sure, let's check this out. This is a queer romance, to my knowledge. Well, it has a queer romance, and to my knowledge, it's a sapphic one. So basically, this book follows a girl named Ava, and something has occurred to her, like she went through something, but nobody kind of knows what it is, and she's keeping it a secret. And then she meets this girl, Haley, and it's all peachy, you know, cute little sapphic relationship, and she's like having a good ass time, right? And so she doesn't want this secret to come out, but then one day she discovers something in the woods. I'm going to presume a body, but it doesn't say whether or not it's a body. Does it say whether or not it's a body? Oh shit, it says on the back, it's a body. So basically, Ava one day discovers a body in the woods, and this threatens to reveal the secret that she's been keeping about what happened to her. And so, I'm excited to read this. It's like kind of like the mystery kind of aspect and a sapphic romance, so I'm like, how could I say no? Next up, we have Who Runs the World by Virginia Burgeon. And I'm not gonna lie, I just picked this up because of the Beyonce reference. But this book, I barely know what this is, but I love the first line on the back, "Welcome to the matriarchy." Put your hand up if you're ready to join. Let's go. Matriarchy, I support. So what happened was there was a virus that basically made all the men die and go extinct, and all the women, 60 years later, all the women have grieved and shit, but now they kind of moved on. They're like, okay, we don't need men anymore. And the main character, River, doesn't really know, like, it's really great to be a girl, and River doesn't know any boys because they've all presumably gone extinct until one day she meets a boy. So I'm curious to see where this book goes. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like a feminist novel, but I'm curious to see what it does. Ah! All my books have fallen, oh my gosh. So, the next book is Fury Born by Claire Legrand. This is a book I did not think I was going to ever read. I have since changed my mind on that because I purchased the book. But the reason I bought this is because this is, I think, the UK cover, and I love this a lot. It's a lot more, not simple, but it's a lot more chill than the US ones with all, like, the gold all around it. So I really love the cover, and so I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give this book a try. I recently watched a vlog, and I don't think it was a recent vlog from hers, but I recently watched a vlog, and it was Chandler Ainsley, and she was talking about how much she really, really loved this book, and so I was like, maybe I'll give this guy a chance, because I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say it's super boring, but I've heard some people say it's super cool and super revolutionary to YA fantasy, so I'm going to give it a try. So basically this book is told in dual timelines. One of them is Riel's perspective and the other is Eliana's, and they are two halves of a prophecy that basically prophesizes two queens, a sun queen or like a light queen and a blood queen, and their stories connect at some point in some way. I know a few spoilers about this, but yeah, Queen Riel is one of the prophesized queens, obviously, and so when we start the book, Riel has just revealed that she has powers because she had to save a friend, I do believe. Yes, a friend, and so now she's trying to prove that she's the Light Queen, or else she's going to get executed, and Eliana is an assassin. She's a bounty hunter, actually, and she is trying to find her mother, who just went missing. So, I'm excited to read this, albeit a little bit concerned how I'm going to like it, but I'm excited nonetheless. YA fantasy intimidates me, but, like, I'm gonna try. Next we have Here There Are Monsters by Amalinda Berube. So, I'm trying to get more into thrillers. As you can see, I'm reading You, I've read Sadie, which is more of a mystery, but I've heard good things about this author's books, and I thought I'd try one out. I think she has another book called The Dark Beneath the Ice, but this one was more interesting to me, and it's felt more culty, and I'm into a good cult, you know, like those are very interesting to me, so I picked this one up. This is a YA thriller. So basically this book follows 16-year-old Sky, and she's kind of sick of taking care of her younger sister, kind of getting her in trouble, and her younger sister's name is Deirdre, and so they move to this new town, and Sky's getting along perfectly with the locals, but Deirdre's kind of like backing off and kind of receding into herself and becoming more fixated on the woods behind their house, and then one day Deirdre goes missing, and so Sky's trying to find her sister, and all this weird stuff is going around at their house, and these weird people who wear these kind of masks are coming around, and it sounds very creepy and kind of cultish. So I'm excited to read this, even though thrillers aren't exactly my jazz yet. I want them to be my jazz. I want that to be my vibe, you know? I feel like it would go along with my angstiness. I feel like it'd be great. Next up, we have something that's very different from YA thriller. This is a non-fiction thing. I've been pretty into nonfiction recently. I have no idea why, but I just am. And this piqued my interest. I've heard very mixed reviews on it, but it piqued my interest nonetheless. This is a book. Shocker, I know. And it is a collection, well, not like a collection, but is the accumulation of reporting on these three women's lives and the impact sex has on their lives for nearly 10 years. So I'm pretty sure one woman has a husband who likes watching her have sex with other people. Another woman is a girl who previously had a relationship with a teacher and how that kind of like screwed with her life. And the other woman is with a person who doesn't want to have sex with her that much or doesn't want to be that intimate, and so she's like rekindling a relationship with someone from her past. And I'm really interested to see how this like handles its topic, I guess. Like I'm curious to see what it's going to be talking about in relation to sex in people's lives, because I'm like, what like angle are we taking here? So I'm excited to read this. I don't know when I'm going to get to it. I want the audiobook, but at the same time it's going to take probably a while to get the audiobook, so we never know. But I'm excited to read this nonetheless. Next up, we have another sapphic romance, and that is 10 Things I Can See From Here by Carrie Mack. Look how cute this is. Is that not adorable? This cover is just so cute. So basically this book follows Maeve, and she is afraid of everything. And then one day she meets this girl named Salix, and she is not afraid of anything, and it follows their romance and them getting to know each other. And I'm so excited. It seems like it's gonna be like so cute, and it's just, I cannot wait. I feel like this will be a fun read in like February for like Valentine's Day, you know, very cute little romance, a little bit of sapphic stuff, you know. I'm excited. I'm hyped. We're coming down to our last two books here. The first one is Loki's Wallis by K.L. Armstrong and Melissa Marr. This is actually a middle grade book, and I have already read this book, but I want to reread it. Basically, I borrowed this from my friend back in the day. I think it was in grade 9. I cannot remember. And I read this, and I really, really enjoyed this book, actually. And then I read, like, part of the second book in the series. It's a trilogy. And I never finished the second book and never finished the trilogy. And I have recently gone very upset about that because I really, really like this book. So I wanted to pick up my own copy and reread it and then finish the series at some point because I want to. I like the first book. This is inspired by Norse mythology. That's correct. That's correct. It's correct. I, as a child, never read like Percy Jackson or anything like that, so this is the most middle grade mythology I've ever read, and I really, really enjoyed this book, and I've been recently watching a lot of videos about mythology, and I just want to get back into it because I love this book a lot. So basically in this world, the kids are, in this town, the kids are modern day descendants of like Thor and Loki and Norse gods. So our main character's name is Matt, and he is the descendant of Thor, or a descendant of Thor. And his classmates, Fen and Lori, are descendants of Loki. And basically the end of the world is coming, and these kids all have to fight in the stead of their godly ancestors, and Matt is chosen as Thor's representative, and Fen and Lori come along with him on this journey. I'm not really sure why Fen and Lori come, because they're both descendants of Loki. In my mind, I can't remember exactly why they're both coming along, but they come along, and they're not exactly close, these three, so it's kind of like found friendship, and they go on this journey, and they have to like stop Ragnarok from occurring, and it was dope. I'm not explaining this correctly or well, but I like this book a lot. So if you want a bit of like middle grade Norse mythology, kind of in the same vein of Percy Jackson, you know, not the same, but like kind of the same vibe as Percy Jackson, I'd recommend. I liked it. The last book we have here is Beastkeeper by Kat Hellison. This is also a very cute cover, and this is a very short book. It's like, how long? 197 pages, so like barely 200. And the reason I picked this up is one, so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. But also, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I hate Beauty and the Beast retellings. Why did you pick it up? Because the girl is the Beast, and that to me was like enough of a twist that I will give it a chance. I hate Beauty and the Beast retellings so much. I don't exactly know why I hate them so much, but I do. So basically, this book follows Sarah, and her family has been cursed. So basically, the day she falls in love, she'll become a beast or transform into a beast. So that's a struggle. So basically, this book is her trying to get over this curse or trying to find a way that this can not affect her life, because, you know, I don't think she really feels like turning into a beast when she falls in love, you know, nobody really does. So I'm excited because it's a twist on the Beauty and the Beast retelling, or Beauty and the Beast story, so I'm excited. I'm hoping that I like this because I hate Beauty and the Beast, so let's hope and let's pray that this one is the exception. And ACOTAR and this might be the exception to me hating Beauty and the Beast retellings. We'll see though. We'll see. So this has been my January book haul, aka the first book haul of 2020 on this channel. Hope you enjoyed. What's the first book you've bought in this year, if you've bought any? And have you read it? Because I've read the first book I bought this year. I'm really cool. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Bailey, and I will see you next time.